So today I started off with my paranormal vlog. We were going over to Willard Library because there's this really cool paranormal story about the Gray Lady. And I was super excited to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've never really been to Willard Library except one time I went to like the Browning Gallery, which is on the other side of Willard. It's like a newer part of the library that you have to walk in a whole nother entrance. And my friend Janice was talking about her Lizzie Borden. She was like doing her seminar, and so I went to that. I've never actually been in the library, like getting books or looking around or anything. So it all started off pretty good. You know, we had an interview with the guy at 1 o'clock. You know, we were going to go before then. We were going to film. We were going to see what I picked up, if I picked up anybody besides the Gray Lady, or if I saw the Gray Lady at all. And I was so excited to do this paranormal video. We're at Willard Library, you all. We're getting ready to do a haunting here at Willard. So we get there and we're early, and I'm like, okay, it's like 12 something. We don't have to meet him till 1. Well, now is the time that we need to walk around and see what I pick up, because the thing about me is I never want to know the history of anything. I want to pick it up when I get there, and then after I'm done walking around and telling everybody what I see, then we can talk to somebody that works there that can either confirm or deny what I've picked up. You know, so that's what I like to do. So I don't know anything about the Gray Lady. I've never read up on it, just because I always wanted to do this right here.
Thank you. First, I want to thank you for letting us come here today and film. And we are here at Willard Library with Director Greg Hager.
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to let you know before we start that everything that we do when we come to a place like this or any of our other places, we do not tell T anything. She knows the gist. Like, she knows the library is haunted and the Gray Lady. But it's the intimate details that we don't go over with her, and she doesn't want us to.
Right.
So we were walking through, and we haven't really gotten anything just yet. We're kind of going to work with you first and then go from there. So my first question is, how long have you been here?
I've been here 23 years.
Do you know where she came from, the Gray Lady?
There is speculation that the Gray Lady is Louise Carpenter, one of the daughter of library founder Willard Carpenter.
Okay.
So some people suggested that. Other people, paranormal investigators, have suggested that the library is haunted by many different entities, perhaps up to 9.
And that was another thing is you had said something about maybe possibly being other spirits, and that's what we're hoping T will pick up today.
Weird things happen. All of us have seen that. But I really haven't had a visual experience. You know, I haven't seen the ghost.
Right.
Others have. There are people I know and respect.
Right.
Have seen something and they say ghost. So that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just a skeptic until I see it.
It says in the winter of 1937 is
Yes.
when she appeared for the first time down in the children's area.
February, yes.
Okay. Do you know that's also the year of the flood?
It is.
Did Willard Library get flooded?
No, we did not.
I didn't think so. I've been looking all over online. I couldn't find anything. Did the Gray Lady appear when there was construction going on, or nothing was going on? Do you think the flood has anything to do with the Gray Lady appearing right around the same time? Was it before the flood? Do you know? After the flood?
It was definitely after the flood.
It was after the flood.
Years ago, way before I became the director here, Lorraine Warren, the Warrens were fairly renowned psychics, Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were here at USI for a psychic fair, and they wanted to visit a local haunted place, and they came to Willard. And Lorraine was her thing to kind of go into a, kind of a trance. And she didn't communicate, and it kind of concerned her husband Ed. And when she came out of the trance, she said that she was consumed by this woman's grief over the loss of a child, and it had something to do with the body of water. And there are several bodies of water around Willard Library.
Right.
There's the Ohio River. There was a horse watering trough at one time out on the corner. There was a canal terminus that's over where the old courthouse, near where the old courthouse is. And then, of course, you know, in 1937 there was this flood, so there was water everywhere. Right. At the same time, we know for a fact that there were no reported deaths with the Evansville flood in Evansville.
Right.
There was one man who's the meteorologist, who had a heart attack and died due to overwork. I mean, he was, you know, so involved with his job that it's anybody's guess. So,
if somebody says, "What is the Gray Lady?" what do you say?
every October, the last 3 weekends in October, we do Gray Lady Ghost Tours.
Oh,
where
okay.
We take people through the building and go to all the places where things have happened, and we, you know, talk about those experiences. And we tend to stick with just the Gray Lady. We don't get into the other entities. I, you know, in my spiel, I usually, you know, say, hey, paranormal investigators have been here many times, and, you know, up to, you know.
Right. Now, has anybody ever given you a descriptive detail of who they think these other spirits might be, like what they look like? What have they said about those?
They said that there is an older man that could very well be Willard Carpenter. There's a youngish man, a little boy, a man named Frank.
Really?
In the basement. The first year that we did ghost tours, we did it on a whim. It was just like, hey, we were doing this other program, and we said, hey, let's also add a ghost tour to it. I thought maybe 30 people would show up. We had 800 people that showed up. And I saw all these people. They were lined up, double file, down our driveway.
Wow.
There were so many cars pulling in. There were traffic jams on First Avenue. I called the police and said, I'm really sorry, but somebody's going to have to direct traffic out here.
Right.
So we got everybody through the building, but it was really tense. I mean, we could only have so many people in the building at a time. We can't even fit 800 people. We couldn't fit 800 people here at the time. So in the process of all this, there was a woman who came in, and she was downstairs in the basement, a little seating area down there, and she was sitting in this chair, not really interacting with other people, but she kept saying, I came here because Frank told me to come here. I came here because Frank told me to be here. And the children's library called me and said, there's a woman down here, she's, you know, kind of out of it. And I went down, and sure enough, she kept talking about Frank. Now, coincidentally, or maybe not, I don't know, coincidentally, a longtime library employee, Frank Chandler, had passed away earlier that year. I thought, well, she knew of that or knew Frank, and she was going to try to play up the fact that now Frank could be haunting the Willard Library. And it kind of pissed me off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I don't have time for nutcases. Frank was a friend of mine.
Oh, right,
that
right.
Light of his death.
Right.
And I pretty much ran her out. And now, years later, there are people talking about a spirit named Frank in the basement.
Oh my God, I hope T catches on to that, because look, when we came here, I said, will you just tell us what you see when you walk through? I mean, we obviously know about the Gray Lady, but if you pick up on anything else, you just let us know. And that's pretty much what we said to her. We didn't let her see the pamphlet. We don't let her get online either.
Well, rumor has it that apparently Frank will poke women.
Now, where has Frank, down in the basement, just in the hallways? Okay. And then you've seen other people have sensed or seen children.
Wife, kids, little boy for sure, but maybe other children. These are people that are seeing things on the webcams too.
So we go today, and I walk in, and everybody seems pretty friendly, and the lady's like, yeah, you can walk around, you can film, it's no big deal, whatever. So you can go down, and it's in the children's part. So there's this children's part of the library that you go down into, and that's where she's always seen. So it's like in the basement, it's like in the hallway and in the back. So we go in to start filming for this Gray Lady, And the librarian is like, no, you can't film. No one's called me. I don't know what you're doing. And so my assistant Melanie starts to tell her, well, you know, I work for TessaLuna Lluvia. She's a psychic medium. She's here to do this. And that lady with her Jesus cross whooped around her head and looked at me like I was Satan himself. Do you hear me? Still, today in this small town, here we go. Girl, here we go. So I looked at her, and you know me. I'm an empath. I'm a clairvoyant, clairsentient. I know what you're thinking. So I'm like, okay, are we going to do this? So, all right. So I turned my head and acted like I was looking at some Shirley Temple display.
Yeah. We're just gonna, is it okay if I just film through here?
Not
yet.
until I hear from Drew.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
sorry, ladies.
That's okay, that's okay. We'll just go back upstairs and we'll find him. And we'll
When you get it, come on down and I'll give you whatever you want.
So should he just call you down here to let
Yeah,
him
you
know it's okay?
just call me and let me know, and then it's a go. I'll do the interview for you and stuff, okay?
Thank you, I'll be right back.
I start to walk out the door and think, well, we'll just walk around the rest of the library until the guy calls down and tells her that it's okay to film, because beforehand he already knew we were coming. He said it was fine, but apparently he didn't call and tell nobody we was coming. Okay, so I said, okay, so we'll walk around. So we walked around, we looked at like some old pictures, we went to the Browning Gallery and kind of looked at the pictures there.
Right.
But it's a room with chairs, there's nothing back there.
You don't wanna walk back there?
There's nothing back there.
Okay.
I've been there like
You don't get nothing from, you don't get nothing down here, back there? Okay.
But this is new. They built this. This was not always here. So we walked back in there. And the lady's like, no, I haven't heard nothing. And you cannot film in here. And you know what? First thing I'm thinking, people. First thing I'm thinking is, this is a world-known haunted library. Tons of people come here to film this library. Everybody's always been welcome to come and film the library. There are other YouTube videos of people filming the library. Why can't I film the library? After I had permission from the main head honcho to fill the library. But she was insistent that it wasn't going to happen. So at this point, I'm mad. I'm mad that it's unorganized, it's chaotic, this lady's being rude to me, and I'm thinking she works in the haunted area. She should be used to this. Why can't she call and ask him herself if it's okay? Why is she waiting for him to call her? Or, in other words, she's just not even trying. I have talked for years about how I don't film or do anything locally because I live in this Bible Belt and people are not open and understanding. So Melanie goes in and she does her interview and she comes out and she's like, it was a really good interview. He's going to call down there and say it's okay, let's go back in. At this point, people, I am spent. I am done. I don't even want to deal with it. And what was crazy is I didn't even pick up who they said was there. I picked up someone named Ruthie, but I couldn't tell nobody because I couldn't do the video. So I was like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. The unique thing about me is I like to go in a place and see what I pick up. That's why I don't want any information on the place. I don't want to be looking for that particular spirit. I want to see what spirits I pick up. And so I like to be unique in the fact that sometimes I pick up spirits that nobody has talked about, but that they can prove actually those people existed. That's what I like to do. And when I went there today, I was hoping to see the Gray Lady. I really was. I ended up meeting somebody named Ruthie that was in spirit, but had I gone back into the library and been able to film and look, I bet you I would have seen her.